Alright guys, so fair warning, you're going to hear cats, you're going to hear dogs, and the combinations thereof. I don't have any control over it. There are now a total of 6 cats in this house and 2 dogs, both of which are Chihuahuas. My housemates and I are hosting their parents. They're transitioning here to the state of Iowa, and they need a place to stay, so we're letting them stay here because we have the room. So, I just completed my first full week at my new job. No, I'm not going to tell you where it is. Because it's none of your business, and I don't want to act like I'm representing the company when I do these videos, so tough crap. But rest assured, it's a very good job. It's not some Joe job at McDonald's or something like that. I am well paid for what I do, and I'm very happy at the job that I have. It's been taking up some of my time, well, frankly, a lot of my time. When I get home, I just have been basically, as I've said on the channel, playing the games that I should be reviewing or discussing. Haven't read a lot of news, but then news hasn't really jumped out at me. So, what I want to do now is throw you the review of Trials, and I'm going to record something else as far as a channel update goes, and you can get more information on all that stuff if you're interested. But for those of you wanting to know, Trials Fusion is a thing! It's a great game. I'm going to just say it right now, it's the best one of the series. I am a fan. I've played both versions on the 360 when they were new and kept with them. These are the kinds of games that I will just always come back to over and over and over and over and over. Because no matter how many times you complete one of these tracks or puzzles, depending on how you look at it, on a long enough timeline you come back, they're new again. Or you have a different vehicle and you want to just do something different, try a different trick, whatever. For the uninitiated, what is Trials Fusion? Trials Fusion is a physics-based... I say this a lot. It's a physics-based puzzle game, and it uses basically motorbikes. And this particular installment occurs in the future, so it enables them to do a couple other things with the physics engine that they couldn't necessarily do before. There is a very loose story. It's just to kind of make you chuckle and scratch your head a little bit. I'm not going to spoil anything, but pretty much as soon as you catch wind that this is developing into a narrative, you can see where it's going. So I'm not going to judge the game based on its story because it's a puzzle game. It doesn't have to have a story. The main thing is it fun? Is it accurate? Is it replayable? Is it fun to look at? You know, does it succeed in being an enjoyable, replayable experience? And I can say without any hesitation, yes, it absolutely does. It has always reminded me of a more physics-heavy Excite Bike because it's a strong user community behind it that make tracks up and everyone can kind of share everything. I haven't tried any user tracks yet. I haven't made any yet either. It's something that I'm waiting. I'm waiting to finish the main tracks before I move forward. And yes, I know that once you finish the tracks, other difficulties may or may not open up. That's not my point. I want to finish everything so I can say I got those done, then tackle the user stuff. That's the goal. But I think it's great that you have something that's driven by the community, no pun intended, to expand and get better. There are a couple of different classes of bike as far as strength and speed, and is it balanced? Does it handle well? There's even a four-wheeler, an ATV, which I wasn't expecting, to be honest with you. And that certainly makes the game, it gives it variety that maybe these types of games didn't otherwise have. Those of you that are of the Sony ecosystem never had an Xbox that have ever played this before, that maybe have played Urban Trial, Fusion, Freestyle, whatever the hell it's called, and you're like, I didn't really like that game, I don't know if I'll like this. If you kind of liked the idea but felt it was poorly executed, then Trials Fusion is going to be for you. Because for me, Urban Trial Freestyle was a good placeholder, and it scratched the itch a little bit for me while I was waiting for Trials Fusion, but the physics aren't quite right. Everything feels kind of floaty in that game. It's fun, and it certainly, like I said, scratches the itch, but it's not... It just doesn't have that Red Lynx feel. And Red Lynx is just a great developer. I'm so stoked that they went ahead and went multi-platform this time around. It was smart of Ubisoft to do that. My only gripe, again, as usual, there's no Vita version. However, with remote play, I'm sure it'll be just fine. It's a very, very fun game. If you have any love of racing games where you're racing against your peers, or because you're racing against ghosts, basically, or you just enjoy beating your best time, doing stunts, this is a good game for that. But the puzzle aspect is what really gets my goat, so to speak. You're going to see on the community that there are players that will create tracks that are designed for speed and stunts and just for fun, and others go out of their way for skill sets. And that's amazing, because throughout the game you get little bits of each, but nothing that's a out and out, hey, it's for this kind of situation. So, tons of replayability, tons of innovation here. They're not reinventing the wheel with the style of game, but there's a distinct step up in terms of the graphics and the sound and the music and the presentation. And they've used the backdrop of the future to really introduce some new elements, like moving set pieces that aren't just falling rocks or something. It's more deliberate and much more intelligent level design because they have more options this time around. So I'm going to say that it's going to be a solid 9 out of 10. The reason I'm going to take a notch off of it is that in later tracks, it's one thing to have bronze, silver, and gold medals, okay? That's a thing. I totally get that. I love that challenge. I love it. But the last, 2 stages, all those tracks are ridiculously hard. Well, the last stage, anyway. It's just almost too hard. Not for a veteran of the franchise. It's a welcome challenge for us. But for someone new coming in, it might be a turnoff. So it takes that 1 point off just for the sake of, on one hand, you've got lots of really great tutorials that are spaced out so that you can get your easy, intermediate, and hard skills mastered, so to speak. So it's very inviting for newcomers on that end, but then on the difficulty end, especially towards the end of the game, it's very unforgiving, and so there's an imbalance there for newcomers, and I want to see more Trials games, so I want to see more people buying it, so it justifies it. So I'm going to take a point off for that because they may have shot himself in the foot a little bit there. So the difficulty balance is a little off. But other than that, great graphics, great presentation, great sound, great music. The gameplay is solid, replayable. I went back and played some of the early stages because I was going for golds that I just didn't bother getting before because you need medals to advance. And even though I was zooming through these stages, they were infinitely more fun because I could zoom through them. So high replayability, different types of challenge. The cats are having a great time yelling at each other. Amazing. Come here, Mia. You okay, hon? Yeah, that's Mia. That's the cat that you don't. That's not who you hear. The one underneath me is Mia. Is the one you always saw behind my head at the old place. So she's a little scurred. But the game, 9 out of 10, great game. Cannot recommend it enough. I can't. If you have any remote interest in this sort of thing, it's a buy. Of all the games out there, it's a buy. A word on which version to buy, though. There's a digital version for $20, there's a digital version for $40, and there's a physical version for $40. The digital for $40 and the physical for $40 are essentially the same game, in that they include the season pass, and it's not really discounted, you're not saving any money that way. But it is nice to note that the disc-based version includes the season pass, so you're not even paying full price for a full game, because it is a full-fledged game. Don't make no mistake about that. It belongs on your shelf. But having the season pass means you have access to all of the content that is coming, expansion packs or what have you. So if you're on the fence, buy the $20 version and get the season pass later. But don't be afraid to get the physical version if that's the way you prefer your games, because there's added value there for you. So just go with what's going to work best for you. I went with the digital $20 version because I'm broke right now. I just started a new job, I don't have any money. So, and that was, a month ago or whatever else, that whenever it came out, I think it was like 3 weeks ago or something. And I basically spent my last $20 on that. That's a true story. Not the smartest financial move, but I love that game so much I knew it would distract me from the fact that I have no money. So, it's a great game. It's something you'll come back to. It's a fun game to just idly kind of sit there. Those of you that like to sit and party chat, that's a great game for you. If you like to sit on the phone or you're on hold customer service for some company or something and you want something you can play that isn't story intensive, doesn't require the sound to be on, and just allows you to just kind of zone out, it's a great game to do that. But when you want to turn the sound up and you have music playing and everything, it's engaging. So, go get it. Trials Fusion for PS4, 9 out of 10. Snag it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Those of you that are new to the channel, I see ya. Thanks for being here. And as always, to all of you, keep on grinding. See you guys with a channel update in a little bit.